Hey guys, welcome to Last Fantasy Gaming. Today we'll talk about the spelljammer controversies, the racist stuff that's on it that I just like waved off of it. Yeah, and I'll put the polygon link down below. This might be the most. This is out of my comfort zone, tell you the truth. This is really out of my comfort zone. I really don't like talking about this. But I think it has to be spoken. It just got to a point that it has to be spoken, in my opinion. People are think that for this group and this group. No. I'm not none for you group. This is just my opinion and my opinion only. Want to say stuff less? Comment down. I'll reply to it or make a video about it. But basically, it's about the Hadozi race. The background and story is different from AD&D to the fifth edition one. You can watch other YouTubers explaining it. They're way better at it. Basically, people are basically comparing Hadozi to the slave trade, uh, for that matter. Uh, but it's like we have our history's all fucked up. Even the whole world's history's all fucked up. Sorry if I'm cursing if kids are watching, but this is something that it has to be said. The world's all fucked up. There's nothing sugary rainbow and raindrop. Nothing going to be falling down to your lap. You're either gonna survive or you're not gonna survive when you get older, become adult. Every kid, when I was young, it's like being adult is great. No, being adult sucks. I have pain all over. I'm physically disabled and mentally disabled. So they're just talking. So it's like there are a lot of races. Actually, there's a more than a handful of races that has a very dark culture and history. But you also got to think about it. It's fantasy. It is make believe. But comparing, and it is nonfiction, but comparing to something that is our history, and you're ruining the story of actual fantasy. So you're basically destroying the fantasy. There's not going to be fucking gumdrop teddy bears and rainbow and a little pony shooting rainbows out of his ass. Be none of that in a lot of fantasy. What happened in a lot of the fantasy movie? Good versus evil, right? Light versus dark. Sometimes they meet in between. Sometimes it's the light that doing the evil deeds, and the darkness is trying to keep them at bay. So there are different perspectives that people need to learn and understand. It's fantasy, like video games. Holy crap! It's like I just don't understand. I'm offended because of what I wrote and what happened 1 to 200 years ago. You know, there is racism that's going on in this world. That is true. There are discriminatory stuff that's happening in this world. This is too. I am half white and half Asian. I'm a mixed breed. Basically abomination to a lot of people in their eyes. So don't tell me because freaking Asian has it had it too, but we don't really freaking complain about all of that. And yeah, a lot worse too. Freaking genocide, whole bunch of because they're not consulting to be part of our land and stuff. Fucking genocide everything, just kill everything. Freaking experiment everything. If you don't know what I'm doing, look up the Pacific War, the experiments that we're doing in China. Horrifying things. But get back to that. We have classic orcs. Back then they were called gray. Later on, there they made a Monsters Folio on the AD&D. They were originally called the Gray Orcs, and the Gray Orcs were nomads from a different world. And they gradually broke off and become the regular orcs that we know today. That are evil. They're going to try to change that, and they also adding two new different sub races of Drow. You have the two good ones, but we still have the both bad ones. Well, it kind of makes sense because we have a couple drows branch off. Some of these drows that haven't been touched by Loki yet. So that was kind of confusing for it, but we'll see when that book comes out. Drow, a dark culture, dark story, evil, hell, murdering. If Loaf wants you to go kill your son, the mother will be like, "Oh yes, my goddess, I will sacrifice my son to you." Stuff like that. Dark. They have enslavement through the whole Undermountain. There are, also makes a very good story with the Drizzt series. If you haven't read the Drizzt series, read it. It's good. For it. One drow that basically broke off from that cycle and the hardship that he had to go through for it as well. You can't have all good. There will be some bad, but it's you as a DM to make it however you want it. Remember, as a dungeon master, we're the one that buys all of these books. A lot of Dungeons and Dragons books. We buy a lot of D20 module books. Why? Because we're storytellers. You like to have player of 2 and up make a story. Have them live in that moment. Roll the dice. Feel the excitement. But other than that, it's just, a lot of these players, just bitch and complain about it. Then move to get other new players. And it's a lot harder to get. It's either you get players or you DM the game, basically. Everyone DMs differently. I basically use these books as reference and have my own stories that I write for the campaign and so forth for that as well. I'm keeping it. I'm keeping this book. They can recall the books all they want. They just lost a lot of money and a lot of books. They're not going to lose any. They're not going to lose any, people. But I think by recalling the book, you just basically give people, the DMs, that actually buy your books and buy your product the finger, and we're probably gonna stop it because one D&D looks to me a joke, basically a joke. Um, I read the play test. I saw it. I'm looking in my head. It's like the mechanics aren't really 5e as they said it would be. They said it would be updated, but it's like it's not 5.5. This looks like a brand new edition for it. I play AD&D 3.0, 3.5. I play a little bit of 4th. I hate that freaking thing. I play 5th edition. When 4th edition came out, Pathfinder 1E came out. That was basically 3.75. Now Pathfinder's having 5th edition out. So Pathfinder's having 5e module out to be 5.5. So I'm probably going to end up playing Pathfinder 5e for it and skip one D&D until they basically figure out, why aren't we making money? Why aren't people playing my subscription base? Because it's like you're just destroying something that you just destroyed. Well, how many? 30 years of history, 30, 50 years of history of D&D. Instead of adding it on, you just keep changing everything that we used to know as the character as what they were, and never progress the story as it should be from first edition to second edition, then 3.5, and with 4th edition, that's when the change happened. That's why people didn't like 4th. They went back a little bit on the fifth edition, and when people started going back in, but when they started changing it again to all new perspective of the story of these cultures and characters and stuff like that, then people are not. And then the DM is just like, I'm just gonna go to Pathfinder 5e. Sorry, I'm gonna stick with fifth edition for a long time because I remember everyone was playing 3.5 for a very long time until fifth edition finally came out. That's when we started doing fifth edition because it was a lot easier to converse for new players. Fourth edition was a fucking hot mess. But let me know what you guys think. I have no words for it. It's just to me, it's just very stupid. It is just very stupid in my opinion. But leave me down in the comments below. Check out our Patreon, Discord for it. You know this is probably going to be up in people's ass in flame. Tell you the truth, I really don't care. I have better things to care about and worry about than this. It's just a very bad business practice, I would say. Um, I'm keeping this book because now you made my book worth a lot more money now that you're going to get a recall. Just like my Harry Potter, the Deathly Hollow book. When I still have the one that Harry died. I uh, uh, never returned it for a callback, so it's worth a lot more money due to that. So you do you. I'll just spend my money elsewhere, I guess. Well, anyhow, see ya. Bye.